Quite a while after the loss of Dr. Sivana, the little girls of map book, Hespera and Calypso, tracked down the messed up staff of the Board of Wizards in plain view in an exhibition hall in Greece as a verifiable relic. They take it, Calypso utilizing mind control against the observers and security to make them battle one another. Before Hespera utilizes her powers to go everybody to stone as they escape. In Philadelphia, Billy in his Shazam structure converses with a nearby specialist for exhortation. He feels like he isn't contributing anything significant to the city, since he and his individual superheroes have gained notoriety for, in some cases, exacerbating circumstances as opposed to better. What's more, he questions that he was ever deserving of being given powers in any case. The specialist is a pediatrician, not a specialist, but rather gives his all to give Shazam board before he leaves. At the Vasquez home, Billy's encouraged kin have all been plunging further into their singular advantages. Freddy is subtly paying attention to a police scanner, and lets Billy know there is inconvenience at the Benjamin Franklin scaffold. However, recommends they try not to tell the others. Billy is determined that the kin stay together, and calls the Shazamala to get ready. They show up to the scaffold in hero structure, and find it imploding. They are fruitful in saving everybody on it, however neglect to hold it back from being totally annihilated. The city has named the legends the Philadelphia disasters for their unfortunate standing. Hespera and Calypso return to the domain of the divine beings, where they have detained the wizard that gave Billy Batson the powers of Shazam. The wizard is stunned to see the messed up staff, since safeguarding a hindrance between the domains and Earth was implied. Hespera blames the wizard for taking the powers of the divine beings for himself utilizing the staff, and she and Calypso drive him to fix it by approaching the name of the hero. The Shazamala return to the Stone of Time Everlasting, decked out as their hero nest, and Billy assembles a conference to go over the course of the day's occasions. Individually, the kin pass on to finish individual tasks, leaving just Mary, who selected to not go to collection to continue to accomplish legend work. Billy is grieved that the kin appear to be floating separated, yet Mary realizes what's truly irritating him. He will turn 18 soon, meaning he will mature out of the cultivate framework, and where it counts is stressed that Victor, Rosa, and the rest will forsake him, very much like his organic guardians when he does. She lets him know he is hanging on too firmly, and it is just driving them away. At school, Freddy is as yet being tormented, principally by the Breyer siblings. He meets and is in a flash stricken with another young lady named Anne, who he endeavors to safeguard from the Breyers' advances. They beat him, however she finds his courage charming, and remembers him as the youngster that was visited by Shazam at school a couple of years prior. In the divine being's domain, the wizard utilizes a splinter from the staff to make an impression on Billy, who gets it in a fantasy. The wizard is angry that Billy has broken the staff and wasted his power, and cautions him the little girls of Chart Book are coming for himself as well as his kin. Billy awakens around midnight to see Freddy gone. Freddy goes through the night as his super change self-image, Commander Every Power, and goes to stop an outfitted vehicle burglary. The following day and tracks down him at school, and they have lunch together. They bond over both having bossy kin, yet Billy hinders and requests to converse with Freddy. He enlightens him regarding the wizard's cautioning, and makes him vow to come to a family meeting at the stone after school. In the sanctuary, Mary, Pedro, Eugene, and Darla go to Billy's summons. However, Freddy doesn't appear. He enlightens them concerning his fantasy, and updates them on the girls of Athena. Eugene makes an association, and shows them a news report of the disarray at the gallery. They are stunned to see the staff was there, and Billy concedes that he just left the pieces in the demolished carnival in the wake of utilizing it to give them powers. They have barely any familiarity with the sisters, so Pedro shows them a mysterious library in the Stone of Endlessness, as well as an otherworldly, conscious pen named Steve. The pen knows it all, so they get some information about chart books, girls. In the meantime, Anne takes Freddy to the top of the school to hang out. Attempting to dazzle her, he offers to acquaint her with his companion Skipper Every Power. As he appears to pass on to call him, Commander Every Power appears to an end. In the refuge, Steve shows the Shazamala to the data they need, including the powers of the sisters. They unexpectedly notice that map book had 3 little girls, not 2. Hespera, Calypso, and Anthea. Billy understands that Freddy's new companion is, as a matter of fact, one of the 3 sisters, and converses with Freddy. Skipper Every Power, except appears to be generally worried about where Freddy is, saying she doesn't maintain that he should reach out. Out of nowhere, Hespera and Calypso show up and go after the superhuman. At the point when he endeavors to retaliate, Hespera destroys him with the wizard's staff, which takes his power and changes him back to his adolescent self. Anthea is stunned, and Freddy understands that he can't change any longer. Billy flies in to help, yet Anthea utilizes her own powers to revise reality to keep him from drawing near. As the others show up on the scene, Hespera undermines Freddy's life on the off chance that they attempt and stop them. She tears the rooftop away with them on it and flies it away. However, Billy, unfit to hold on, gives pursuit before he can contact them. Hespera makes an invulnerable force field over the whole city, catching Shazam and the other kin inside as the sisters pull off Freddy. Freddy awakens in the jail of the God's domain. The girls have Freddy and the wizard brought before them, and they question Freddy about different legends. They inquire as to whether they are only youngsters too, and request their names. Freddy won't collaborate, so Calypso takes a stab at utilizing her brain control to compel it out of him. He can oppose, yet in the long run neglects one name, Billy Batson. Before Calypso can go further, the letter shows up and Hespera orders her to stop. The letter, though comprising for the most part the kin choosing what to have Steve compose, offers up their power in return for Freddy's opportunity. Calypso and Hespera are not ready to trust the people, and request Freddy and the wizard to be discarded. against Anthea's contentions. Freddy and the wizard threw into a pit containing the mythical serpent Lawton, the gatekeeper of the nursery of Map Book, who tasks Dredd into his casualties prior to killing them. They are saved by Anthea, who carries them to a maze and give them headings to get out and back to the human domain. Hesper goes to the meet Shazam, uncovering that she knows what his identity is. She says that the wizard took the powers of the divine beings from her dad, and they need them back from the mysterious library, and withdrawing through one of the great many enchantment entryways in the refuge. Freddy and the wizard follow the labyrinth bearings and find an entryway, stowing away as Hesper comes through it with the doll. The wizard remembers it at the apple containing a seed for the tree of life. The girls contend how to utilize the apple, Hesper and Anthea maintaining that it should recuperate their domain, yet Calypso is consumed by retaliation, and needs to utilize it to rather annihilate the human domain. Freddy slips into the royal chamber and takes it back, however is found. The Shazamolite finish the enchanted entryways and save Freddy and the wizard, yet its underlying foundations grab hold of Philadelphia, and legendary beasts start to emerge from it and assault the vulnerable populace. Anthea, appalled at what her sister has done, finds the family sitting above the bloodletting. She lets Freddy know that she truly cares deeply about him, and goes to attempt to influence Hesper into bringing Calypso back into check. Billy, frantic and uncertain what to do, requests the wizard to reclaim the powers from Shazam and become the boss once more. The wizard expresses that the power no longer has a place with him, it has a place with Billy. He consoles him that he can figure out how to win, and Billy thinks of an arrangement. He requests the rest of the family to figure out how to move the beasts away from the arena so he can defy the winged serpent. Before he goes, Rosa requests to see her child in his genuine the domain of the divine beings, yet rather is ruined, and can make demise in this domain. Hesper is likewise disturbed by Calypso's destructive enthusiasm, and orders her to remain down. Calypso lethally pierces her more established sister, and utilizations the staff and her own powers to turn Anthea mortal so she can pass on with the people. The family pass through the city attempting to stop the beasts, however are terribly dwarfed. Darla, having presented to Steve the pen from the stone, asks him what the beasts fear. Steve lets them know that they fear the ruler of monsters, unicorns. The wizard recounts to them that dissimilar to the tales, unicorns are dim, horrendous animals, that must be won with ambrosia. The kin and wizard pass on the van to track down them, however Freddy spots Anthea meandering in the disarray, and follows her. Billy tracks down Calypso and Lawton and battle them, yet Lawton's fire harms his suit and drives him back. Shazam has a go at utilizing his lightning against her, yet it is intensified by the force field and consumed into the staff. He withdraws as Lawton proceeds with his frenzy. The kin, drove by Darla, track down a gathering of unicorns, and can acquire its devotion with Skittles treats. They ride the unicorns into the fight, and drive the beasts to the edges of the city. Shazam tracks down Hespera, scarcely alive, and inquires as to whether overburdening the staff with lightning could kill the winged serpent. Hesper says it would, yet would likewise destroy all the other things inside the force field. He asks her some help. Lawton and Calypso track down Anthea in a horde of regular people, and attempt to kill her at the city society run. Freddy views as her and battles against the mythical serpent's trepidation abilities to get to Anthea. As they face their inescapable demise, Shazam shows up and can take the staff, drawing Calypso and the mythical serpent back to the baseball arena. At the point when they show up, Hesper utilizes her ability to contract the force field so it encases just the actual arena. Calypso is incensed, and attempts to break out. In the meantime, Billy tracks down Victor, Rosa, Anthea, and Freddy at the edge of the force field. He lets them know he is prepared to take the necessary steps to safeguard his family, and says his farewells. He goes into the arena to confront Calypso and Lawton. Shazam tosses lightning bolt subsequent to lightning bolt at the force field, causing a thunderstorm that energizes the staff. He can hold off the mythical beast, lastly flies straightforwardly through the fire. As the staff overflows with energy, he yells the expression of the and legend toward the end. The wizard requests him to be let go as one, and they return his body to the domain of the divine beings. After his internment, Darla inquires as to whether enchantment will at any point get back to the world. However, the wizard says that the staff is feeble, and just a divine being can re-establish it. Right now, Diana of Themyscira shows up. The girl of Zeus, she can control up the staff and re-establish the god's domain, resurrecting Billy and giving him his Shazam powers. Shazam gracelessly asks Marvel Lady out on the town. However, she advises him to adhere to world saving. Billy is brought together with his family, and utilizations the staff to re-establish their powers in general. Sometime later, the family are reconstructing their home and getting a charge out of supper as a family. Anthea stays in the human domain to accompany Freddy, and the wizard shows up, having had a makeover, to take the staff for supervision and express farewell before he partakes in his new opportunity. Never sorted one out. The wizard lets him know that it is Shazam, however Freddy figures they can see as a superior one.